Bears under Ben Johnson had a season that would knock your shirt off. Chicago more than doubled their win total from 2024, won the NFC North, and secured their first playoff victory in 15 years. But is Chicago ready for a Super Bowl leap? History says the Bears are due. The Eagles and Seahawks lost in 05 and 06, but both won 20 years later. Chicago lost in 07, and right they are 25-1 to win the Lombardi. All right, joining us now is a man behind the machine, Bears head coach Ben Johnson with us. And Ben, thank you so much for joining us here on SportsCenter. You said during your end of season presser, the Bears are going back to square one. You were just in that spot a year ago as a new head coach. What can you lean on going into year two that you learned from year one?
Well, I think we know our roster a lot better than what we did a year ago. We got a lot of continuity here on the coaching staff. We feel very strongly about the guys that are coming back. We got to bring the competition back to our 90-man roster, though. That's going to be the biggest thing, that Ryan and I are looking to do is how do we get a better version of this team for 2026? Because as close as we were, we still fell short. And so we got to go back to the drawing board, and we got to build on from those experiences that were good, and yet we still got a lot of work to do.
And Caleb Williams had an incredible sophomore leap, and he's targeting the 2013 Broncos offensive records as some of his own goals for next season. What do you hope Caleb's next strides are leading this offense?
Well, he's done a phenomenal job just picking up the coaching, and there's a lot of new that came in. He just hadn't played a lot of ball in this league yet, and yet he is a phenomenal football player, and he can do some things on his own. And so we just got to get him to play in structure just a tad bit more. I think he's going to be light years better just understanding what we're trying to get done, and I'm really looking forward to going into year two with him. And
last offseason, improving the offensive line to keep Caleb Williams upright was a priority, and that happened this past season. What's the biggest area that you guys want to improve on this team going into this offseason?
Yeah, no, I was pretty pleased with how we got better in terms of the offensive line. Both our rushing attack and our sack numbers went down, and so felt really good in that regard. But I think defensively we got to make some strides. We weren't quite good enough as a whole. We did a great job taking the ball away, but there's a number of areas that we can get better there. And yet it's still on offense. I do believe we're just scratching the surface of what we're capable of doing as well.
Let's talk about the relationship between you and your quarterback. Caleb says your relationship with him went from fragile to unbreakable because of those one-on-one meetings that you guys have had throughout the season. What do you appreciate most about being on this journey together with your quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, he and I are wired the same way, and you don't know that until you spend time with somebody. And so he knows I want what's best for him. We both desperately want to win games. We both desperately want to win for this city. We both want to bring a Super Bowl trophy here to Chicago. And so when you have like-minded goals like that, I think you really can come together and do some special things. I'm really excited about what the future has in store for him.
And Caleb Williams showed that he's one of the ones when it comes to competitiveness out there on the field, but he thinks you truly bring the fire to Hallis Hall. Take a look.
I was like, yo, he's like us. Like he wants to whoop everybody's ass.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like a player in a sense because he's like he's out there. And obviously he knows he's not out there. He knows that he always tells me he's like, players make coaches, and players are everything. More than scheme, more than anything. And so I think he does a good job of like adapting to his players. But he is like a player. Like he wants to whoop everybody's ass.
Coach, you heard it right there from your quarterback. I mean, where does that fire come from?
Oh, no, that's how I'm wired. That's how I've always been. You get in this league and you want to make an impact. You want to make a lasting legacy, if you will. And, I'm grateful to be around a lot of guys that want to do that here in Chicago. I can't say enough good things about this coaching staff. I can't say enough good things about the guys on the roster right now. I'm really looking forward to what's ahead.
Bears-Packers, we have to talk about it. It's a rivalry for the ages. What separates that rivalry from anything else that you've experienced as a coach?
Yeah, no, I think it's special. How close these two cities are. It's gone back for since the beginning of the NFL. It's such a major thing in this sport that it'd be a shame if we downplayed it at all. I think when both teams are good and we're competing against each other. I think it's a good thing for the sport.
And you delivered not only wins for Chicago this past season, but also free hot dogs thanks to your shirtless celebrations during the season. What did your wife, Jessica, and family say about you flexing for the fans out there?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep my shirt on here going forward.
You got to keep the shirt on. I don't know. I think everybody loves it. When you get fired up, you're in that locker room, all the juices are flowing. I mean, Coach, that's how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to be just as excited as your players in there. I don't think we do away with it at all.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Look, wifey must have said something about it. She's like, keep your shirt on. We don't need your shirt off. Public. Ben Johnson joining us from Indy. Coach, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the week.